Hello, my name is Agâh Tapan, and I'm a first year electrical engineering student in Bilkent University. Here is my Physics 102 project. The purpose of my experiment is to measure the capacitance of parallel plate capacitors with different separations and different dielectric materials in between. For this experiment, I use paper, polyester, and air as my dielectric materials to put in between the plates, and I use the separations of 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, and 3 centimeters respectively to measure the capacitance when the separations between the plates are different. To obtain the theoretical values for the capacitance, yeah, I use the capacitance formula for the parallel plate capacitors with the simplifying assumption that difference separation between parallel plates is considerably smaller than any side of the parallel plates. As part of my experiment, I set up the parallel plates and measured the capacitance with different separations. For the second part of my experiment, I switched the dielectric material between the plates. Here are the materials I used. Additionally, I had to change the setup since the setup introduced unexpected behaviors. I used a plot to show the differences between the experimental values and how I expected the system to behave with different separations and different dielectric materials. The first part of the experiment, I obtained the error values to be 15%, 22%, and 25% respectively. And for the second part of the experiment, I obtained the error values to be 25%, 16%, and 28%. These errors are explained in two different fashions, one of them being systematic errors and the other being random errors. In terms of systematic errors, I found it to be mostly coming from incomplete definition of the problem we're solving. So the parallel plates I use were constructed using aluminum foil and cardboard, and due to how I wrapped the aluminum foil around the cardboard, there were many surface imperfections, and this meant that then some regions of the plates were much closer than they should be. Thus, capacitance was generally more than what I expected beforehand. And on top of that, there were a lot of flaws in the experimental setup itself. But these flaws are generally examined under personal errors. And as personal errors, there were some physical variations in between the different readings. And both of these errors were examined under random errors. Thank you for listening.